Welcome to Latino Business Report. In this episode, we bring you the inspiring journey of two ambitious brothers from California who embarked on the path of entrepreneurship by venturing into the challenging world of tortilla manufacturing. Faced with a competitive and crowded market, the brothers encountered obstacles in establishing their business. Undeterred, they hatched a game-changing idea, crafting a great-tasting, healthy tortilla with just 15 calories and 1 carb. This innovative approach not only set them apart, but propelled them to success. Listen in as we explore the remarkable story of these two brothers who, fueled by their initial triumph, expanded their operations to a second factory. Today, their venture, Mr. Tortilla, has transcended borders, shipping its products internationally.
Welcome to the Latino Business Report. This podcast covers business, people, and issues of the day from a Latino perspective. The Latino Business Report is brought to you by TAMAC, the Texas Association of Mexican American Chambers of Commerce. TAMAC is the leading Hispanic business organization in Texas since 1975. Now for your host, J.R. Gonzalez.
And welcome to another episode. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite things, tortillas. Yes, folks, you heard it, tortillas. Not just any tortilla or your everyday tortilla. This is a special tortilla that comes out of California called Mr. Tortilla. And we have the owners of Mr. Tortilla with us today. We have both Ron and Anthony Alcazar. Gentlemen, how are you doing today?
Thanks for having us.
Great, Joe. I'm doing great. Glad to be back. Thank you so much.
This is actually my first time on here. So
Yes. Anthony was on the show in our previous episode. Ron, he said that you were unavailable. I just think he wanted to get the mic to himself. But I'm glad you could join it on the show, be on the show as well with us. Now, Ron, you are you're the younger of the two brothers, right? You're about 6 years younger, 5 or 6 years younger than your older brother.
Yeah. We're like just a week short of 6 years.
Okay. And you are the operations manager for Mr. Tortilla.
Yeah.
Okay. And Anthony, Ron and I can't figure it out. What is it you do with the company?
I don't know, JR. Sometimes I'm doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But I like to think, my hand is kind of
Is that in your job description? I do a little this, I do a little that.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. JR, I'm so glad to be back on your show. Last time we were here, I got to tell you, I love your audience. The day we were on here, we had a record-breaking day on Amazon. So I know your audience bought our product, and we're so thankful to them. And we just wanted to come back and share a little bit about our company, what we're doing new, and our future.
That's the JR bump.
The JR bump. Hey guys, I really appreciate that. That's kind of cool. So your Amazon sales went up when the podcast came out.
Yeah, it went up, and we were just so happy and thankful to you, right, for having us and being able to share our story.
If it goes up again, feel free to little commission checks to get us. I'm not above that. I'll share in the tortilla wealth.
Yeah,
but
sharing, Joe.
Nah, just kidding, man. Just kidding. I'm very, very happy for you guys, and we had some great feedback from our listeners on this show, and I'd get calls. JR, is it like this tortilla legit? Have you tried them? Are they real? Of course I try them. I don't bring any food product or anything that I talk about on the show that I haven't tried myself. So yeah. A great product. Now, let's tell the story. For those of you who have not heard the first episode, go back, try to listen to it. But Anthony, can you just kind of give us a recap of how this Mr. Tortilla company started?
Yes. So my brother and I, just like a lot of Latino brothers and family growing up, I had a dream of starting our own company. And so we always knew we wanted to start our own company. We didn't know what we were going to do. And when he graduated college, I approached him like, hey, instead of going to work for someone, how about, have a little bit of money saved up. Let's start up our own company. Let's have dad come on and help us as a consultant. And let's make some delicious tortillas, right? Because that's what we grew up eating in Los Angeles. And we always felt there was a need for a more delicious tortilla, because what you find at the stores is just mass produced and a lot of chemicals are used. And, that's when the concept came up, but hey, we're going to start this our tortilla company. And but what really took us off, and what really made us known, is that one night my brother and I even went to go get some tacos, right? Because all across Los Angeles, at every corner you can find a pop-up taco shop. And so we, stuffed ourselves with like 8 to 10 tacos each. And after eating so much, you get that taco guilt, like, oh, stuffed. And why did I eat so much? Double tortillas on these tacos. And an idea came up, right? And I told my brother, hey, what if we can make tacos healthy? What if we can develop a tortilla that was low in calories and low in carbs that made, taco eating healthier? And that's when we developed the 1-carb, 15-calorie taco tortilla. And when we launched that, our company really grew, and we grew 3,000%, became the number one selling tortilla on Amazon, on the internet. And really, that product was what kind of launched us to our company and our brand.
1-carb, 15 calories per tortilla. That's amazing. How did you figure this out? Tortillas have been made since, forever. But how did you figure out how to get a great tasting tortilla with so few carbs and calories?
Oh, I came up with the idea, but I'm gonna have Ron answer that because he's the one who actually made it happen.
Okay, we're not looking we're not looking for proprietary secrets here, but Ron, how'd you come up with that, and what do you do different to make them so much healthier?
Yeah, what we essentially did with our tortilla is we got rid of a lot of like the extra additives that kind of made it easier to produce, but made the tortilla taste like less good overall. And then pretty much we use like really good ingredients like oat fiber, different like proteins and fiber ingredients that make a tortilla that, like, is strong. It'll hold the whole entire full taco, won't break apart, and it's delicious. And so once we came up with a tortilla like that, we just add different spices to it to make different flavors.
But JR, I gotta tell you something, man. Like our healthier tortilla, 1-carb, 15-calorie tortilla is how people know us. But we didn't start with that product, right? We started with our flour tortillas that people really love, and we just couldn't penetrate get into the markets, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what ended up happening, JR, is the fact that we kind of stopped making that product because the demand for that 1-carb, 15-calorie, like healthier products was so high. People wanted that product. And so we continue developing these keto and friendly products. We have our new hard shell. So people who like a hard shell, taco, now we have a 1-carb hard shell, which is like a healthy version of like a Taco Bell taco, for example, right? You can make it at home and very low calorie, very low carb. But also, I'm proud to say that for everyone that's been asking us, hey, I want to try your flour tortillas. Don't you guys make a regular flour tortilla? We launched our big burrito tortillas, right? So now you can make burrito tortillas at home, burritos at home, and not in the, lately when you go out to, I don't know, in Texas, but in California, when I want to go have a burrito, I can't find one for less than $12 to $15, right? They've gotten expensive. And so we launched this flour tortilla so that people can make the burritos at home and save money and eat delicious, because they're gourmet. And I know we sent you a pack, so I would love to get your feedback on what you thought of our tortillas.
Well, I tell you what, you did send me a pack. I want to thank you for that. Your gourmet burrito tortilla. I opened it up, my friends. I said, dang, this is a big tortilla. That thing measured like 12, 13 inches in diameter. So I'm going, my first question, how do I warm it up? Because, I have a comal right there on the stove, or usually I warm up my flour tortillas. I just put them on the open flame on the gas stove and warm them up. So I said, okay. So what I ended up having to do is I tore it up into smaller pieces. I warmed it up and made some, put some different proteins in there and tried it out. And I was impressed, gentlemen. I was really impressed. That was a good tortilla. And the only thing, are you making them smaller, or are you just coming up with the larger ones right now?
Right now, the larger ones, because there's a need for it. No one really sells this size tortillas in the market, right? Mm-hmm. So we're starting with this one, and then we're definitely going to move to the smaller tortillas for everyone.
Well, you get that large tortilla, you stuff it full of your favorite proteins in there, and two people could eat off one of those things, or one for me. I'm a big boy, and it's kind of like I can probably handle one, but that's a lot of tortilla you have there, and it's very good. Now, we were talking before we started recording the show, Anthony, is that what makes this tortilla so much different and even tasting better and healthier than some of the other tortillas on the market?
Well, two things, Jared. Well, a couple of things, but two main things. One, we use avocado oil, right? And no other tortilla really uses avocado oil because it's more expensive, but it also makes the tortilla taste more delicious, more buttery, right? That's number one. And number two, we use unbleached flour, right? And so for people that don't know, bleached flour, the stuff you get at the store, like if you look up what bleached flour does, it's bad for you, right? So we use unbleached flour and avocado oil, and the way we cool it proprietarily, like a proprietary cooling process, instead of using the anti-stick chemicals that other tortillas use, make it so it doesn't have that sour aftertaste. Another thing too, it has a clean bite. Like you can use it as a wrap. You don't need to you don't need to heat it up. It's that delicious.
Yeah,
and
my wife just eats them straight out of the bag because like they taste so good.
Yeah, and another thing too, like when you heat them up, they get fluffy, right? You see it fluff up and rise because of the way we make it and we cool it. And so what it also does is we use the way it's baked, right? Causes that when you make a burrito, you put salsa and whatever seasoning, the tortilla absorbs that seasoning and it complements it. So your burrito just tastes delicious. It won't get soggy, it won't get wet because our tortillas are made thick to absorb everything. So when people make them, like if you go follow our Instagram at Mr. Tortilla, you'll see like now it's I think hundreds of people since we launched are making like these big burritos and having fun with it, making taco bowls, making all kinds of plates. And for those of you that love big quesadilla too, they make amazing big quesadillas, and everyone's just having fun with this new product that's not really available anywhere. So we launched it, and we're very happy because finally we're able to offer our flour tortillas to everyone.
Yeah, I didn't know if I was getting a stack of tortillas or a Frisbee in there, man. When the package came, I mean that was a good sized package. But gentlemen, congratulations. Now I understand that along with manufacturing these large tortillas, that you're also going international here next week.
Yes, JR. So we for a long time.
You've been international already. I know through Amazon. You're Amazon's #1 tortilla seller, and you have a lot of different countries that you ship to. But now you've worked a deal with FedEx, I understand.
Yes, and Ronnie can touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, we've finally been able to really get reasonable rates and everything like taxes, duties taken care of, so that the consumer has a clear, like clean, nice experience. Like just one shipping bill, and it's not that much. And then once we got that up and running, we tested it internationally. It works great. So now we're gonna open up worldwide, and consumers all over the world can shop on our website and get it within like 3 to 5 days.
Are you going to start doing your websites in different languages?
Yeah. So when it comes up, our website's automatically translated into whatever language is local.
Nice. Well, I'm excited for you. I mean, for somebody who's traveled in a lot of parts of the world, having the comfort of a tortilla would be nice. So if we're scaling up to do international business on this new tortilla, did you have to increase your manufacturing? Did you add another location? What did you do to be able to scale up?
Yeah, so we built out another factory, right? So now we have a second factory that will be able to sustain the sales that we anticipate from a worldwide direct-to-consumer. We're excited, Jared, because no one's really done it like this before. I mean, we were the first to launch tortillas here on the internet in the U.S. and really grow it and that scale. And now that we're going worldwide, we're super excited because essentially anywhere, it's like when we did a little trial, people bought it in Hungary, in Qatar, in Australia, Canada, Singapore, right? And they're getting the tortillas in 3 to 5 days, right? And it's phenomenal to be able to reach the consumer. That's which we're very excited about because we get tons and tons of emails about people wanting to buy our products internationally, but we just couldn't sell it to them before. So now we're excited to be able to get them the product, and also here in the U.S. to continue to grow with their new SKUs and new R&D to continue to roll out new products.
All right, let's do this. I know that a lot of people across the U.S. listen to this podcast, but I also have some listeners in different parts of the country. Different parts of the world. We have Canada. Of course, we have Mexico. We have some Central America, and I do have some in Europe. And there's some listeners I've been trying to reach out to the past couple episodes. Every week I have listeners in Bangladesh. Don't know who they are or why they listen, but thank you for listening. But I'm going to make this offer, Ron. Help me out here. If anybody's out there is a listener and they're international, reach out to me on our website, LatinoBusinessReport.com. there in your comments. Send me your name, who you are, your address, and Ron, and we're going to get them a pack of your tortillas. How's that sound?
Amazing.
Yeah, amazing.
Okay, so if you're out there somewhere in the world and want to try this Mr. Tortilla product, let us know. Contact me, and we will. I won't, but they will. They'll go ahead and ship you some tortillas via FedEx. Now, the question I have is, once they receive it, what's the shelf life on this tortilla? Do they need to refrigerate it? Does it going to go bad in a few days? How long will it? What's the shelf life on it? How long will it last?
Look, so from when the consumer gets it, we guarantee 90. They have 90 days on a dry shelf, and then refrigerate after opening, essentially. So as long as it's closed, it's fine. But once you open it, refrigerate it.
Okay, assuming you don't eat the whole pack at one time. Okay.
Yeah. And 1 year frozen jar, so they can freeze it and it lasts for out of the oven. Like you put it into the freezer, and then when they want to eat it, just take it out, wait a couple hours, and it tastes like it's out of the oven. That's what's so special about our tortillas. So people can buy it, all across the world, and then freeze
buy it in bulk and store it. I mean, that's what I do. I have there's always tortillas in my freezer, and I allocate them out to myself. In the middle of the night with some butter, or get up one morning and make chorizo con huevo or papa in there. That's good to know. That's good to know. So your tortillas have a shelf life. Once they're open, go ahead and refrigerate it. But if you want to keep them for a while, you get like a sample pack or a lot of them. Just go ahead and freeze them, and they'll last up to a year in your freezer.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and when you buy them from our website, we make them fresh, ship them fresh. So that's one thing we implemented this year is to make sure that everyone who buys it from our website, they're going to get a freshly made product, right? So they can have it, as fresh as can be. And that's
okay. So they're not buying something that's sitting in a warehouse someplace just waiting to be shipped out. It's a fresh order comes in, a fresh batch is made, and there it goes.
Yes. Yeah. And I want to tell you, all your audience, like for you guys, I'm telling you, this is the best. I'm talking about the big burrito. This is the most delicious flour tortilla you're going to taste. If you don't love it, we'll give you your money back. Right? That's how we stand by our product, right, JR? We're the only tortilla that does that. Like, so when anyone doesn't like a product or has any problem with it, we always offer, a money back or a refund or a credit, because we want to make sure the consumer is happy. That's our number one concern, is making sure that.
Okay, guys, you heard it here. You heard it here on the Latino Business Report. The co-owner of Mr. Tortilla just said, if you don't like the product, you'll get your money back. 100%. That's a pretty bold statement there, Anthony.
That's what we
you believe in your product that much. That's good. That's good. Besides tortillas, what else do you guys make?
We're making a new taco seasoning that's coming out for our new hard shell. So we just launched our hard shell tortillas that are only available on our website, because it took us, JR, almost 8 months to figure out the shipping to make sure that these hard shell tortillas won't crack, won't break, right? So we got the shipping down, and so now we ship that all across the continental U.S. And they get there in pristine conditions, right? Which is the most difficult thing that it took. But now that we've got the hard shell going, we're coming out with our new taco seasoning. It's a keto taco seasoning that's delicious.
Okay, all right. Now, but you also make some like keto-friendly chips, and you did some mixes. So I mean, I've seen some of that online. Describe some of those other things, such as your brownie mix, your cookie mix, your chips.
Well, we started focusing on the chips, but the newest chip that we just developed that people really love is, everyone loves buñuelos, right? But the problem with buñuelos is that the sugar intake, right? It's bad for you, right? You eat a couple of them, and
dude, that's what makes them so good, man. That's what makes them so good.
And also churros. The other day we went to the zoo, and there was like nothing to eat except a churro. And like I my mom was diabetic, and she had some of the churro, and her blood sugar spiked up, right? And so and for that reason, we developed these new churro chips. They're sugar free, right? So your blood sugar won't spike up, and they're only 3 net carbs per serving. So I mean, you eat this bag of churro chips, and you're craving your sweet tooth, but your sugar doesn't go up, and you get that craving of the churro.
Nice. And okay, all right. So basically, you guys are not reinventing good Mexican food, but getting a lot of taking a lot of the bad stuff. I don't want to say bad. I mean, there's nothing bad about Mexican food, but you're taking a lot of those high risk factors, the calories, the carbs, and some of the things just make it a little bit more so people can eat more without that guilt or
Yes,
without affecting their health as bad.
exactly. Look, Jared, we love Mexican food. I mean, that's it. We love
Well, who
pork
doesn't, man? I mean, it's the
tortillas. Yeah,
American way.
yeah, we everyone loves it, right? And so, I mean, we can never, and we're not trying to replace it because you know what? Everyone's always going to eat it, right? Especially on cheat day. That's why we have our big green tortillas too. But what we want to do is give another option, so you don't always have to cheat, right? So when you want to, you can eat guilt free. Have an option but it tastes good too because the last thing you want to do is eat like some of these other brands after you try their low carb products and it just doesn't taste good, right? And so
Right.
you're eating something and it makes you when you're eating it, you're not eating it guilt free. You're eating it
Well,
and you're like, I'm eating this, but it's not delicious. It's not. But when you eat our product, we want people to say, I'm eating this and it's delicious. That's the difference.
yeah. Now, I'll have to admit, Anthony, when you first started telling me about this, we started talking, and then when I got my first pack of tortillas as a sample, I'm going, I really did not think I was going to like them. Mentally, I had it in my head, okay, JR, be kind, but try this, and it probably won't be that bad. But they were actually good. I mean, a little bit different. They were thin. They were tasty. They were definitely not filling. I really enjoy them. So you're definitely making a good product out there. And you guys came up with this. I mean, okay, let's just turn the hands of time back a little bit. How old were you two guys when you came up with this idea?
Oof. I want to say we were
Like the idea was close to when we started, but actually,
Or when did you start
yeah,
the business? How old were you when you started the business? I mean, Ron, you were fresh out of college, right?
yeah, it was like that was 22. I think it was like 28.
yeah.
Okay, so two brothers in their 20s. Your dad had been in the tortilla business, right?
My dad had been in the food business,
In
in
the
the
food
food
business. So
industry.
you hired him as the consultant, and
Yeah,
you
to
two
kind of help
brothers.
guide.
Okay. So as any business develops and scales up, so how long did you guys have to go pretty much hungry without making any money until this thing started working?
Dude, we didn't pay ourselves for like 9 years. I think our spouses
Jeez.
supported us. Yeah, I mean
Hey,
we struggled, man. I gotta tell you, Joe. I mean, look, I mean, it was tough, Jared. We struggled. I mean, we had a lot of times when we thought, hey, you know what? Because it crosses your mind, right? Like, hey, maybe this is just get a job or let's, you know, give up. But our faith, right? Our faith was what made us keep going and having each other and kind of pushing each other. And the fact, you know, that hey, we just don't give up no matter what. We're going to keep going, right? And that really was our secret. But we were only able to keep going because we had faith that hey, God gave us this dream in our heart, right? That we would
mhm.
be able to have a tortilla brand company that that people would love, and you know that was our dream. And even though it looked impossible, right? You know, nothing is impossible with the God.
Well, not only your faith, but each of you had a very understanding wife. I mean, 9 years without a paycheck.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
It was,
gentlemen, I think it's only proper that each of you do a shout out to your spouses right now. I mean, come on, give them a shout out. Tell them how much you appreciate them because if it wasn't been for them, Mr. Tortilla would probably not exist.
oh, absolutely. Shout out to my wife and my mom and my sister-in-law who I mean supported us. I mean, yeah, wouldn't be possible without you, right? And not only
Yeah,
supporting us, but believing in us. Like, don't worry, you know, it's going to work out. Don't keep going, right? And that was like the secret, right? Because we didn't have any animosity or any, you know, our relationship was always good and strong. You know, always the faith was always there, and that gave us energy, kept going.
And both of you have children too, right? So you're it's just not the wife. I mean, you have families.
Yes, yes. Ron has 3 kids.
yeah. I have 3 kids, and Anthony has 2, and they're all kind of like the same age, more or less, like nested in between. So it's a group.
Good deal. Does anybody else in the family work in the business?
No, it's just us two, and well, my dad, of course, that you know helps us and guides us, especially with the manufacturing stuff. That's so difficult and tedious. I don't know what we do without his help and my team, really, right? My team, our team of employees just really love Mr. Tortilla and have really helped us. We couldn't do it without our team and our employees, who we thank very much.
And that was kind of like, I guess it's always been what our brand's been about, kind of like what we've been focusing on is that our tortillas are made with love. Like, that's the secret, right? And yes, we make sure that everybody, is treated well, paid fairly, like enjoys their time here, like a happy, positive environment. But everybody needs to care about the product, and even down to the way we make our tortillas. Like we don't cut corners, we don't add certain chemicals to make our tortilla easier to make. And in turn, like, it tastes more delicious, but it requires a more caring eye. So,
Sure.
We make it, they're small batch, artisan made, but they're delicious and the way a tortilla should be.
And I think that does make a difference because you don't mass produce; you make small batches, and put the loving care and time to make sure that each batch comes out to your standards. So definitely, and then when you ship them out fresh.
And that's how we can compete, give our clients, our customers, something that no one else can, because even the stuff at the store is not fresh, right? The stuff that we send is literally comes out bagged and now send out fresh, so the client gets it within a few days, and it's something that they can.
So they get shipped out warm, huh? They're still warm when they go in the box.
Yeah, absolutely, JR. And JR, for everyone listening, I got to tell you guys, thank you so much, because the love and support we got from this podcast meant a lot to us. I remember last year, right, JR, that we did the podcast, and when it launched, the day, we could see all the sales, and we were so thankful to everyone, especially everyone in Texas that's hearing us, because California is the number one state that buys our product, but our number two state right behind is Texas, and they've loved and supported us so much. We would love to be in HEB and in your stores, and so you guys can get our product because you guys have been so supportive. And that's part of the reason why we went with this big tortilla, because we hear everyone likes everything bigger in Texas.
That's true. All right. Since they can't find them in the stores right now, Anthony, where can somebody go to get some of your tortillas right now?
They can go to mrtortilla.com. That's mrtortilla.com. And we're having a store-wide sale for 25% off in 2024, so everyone can come and get the cheapest tortillas available of our brand.
Least expensive. You don't do anything cheap. You're least expensive.
There you go, least expensive. Yeah,
the least expensive. Okay, so mrtortilla.com, you can put an online order, and once they order, about how long will it take? I know it depends on what part of the country or world that they're in, but on an average, how long does it take to get a box of tortillas to them?
3 to 5 days.
3 to 5 days. Okay.
3 to 5 days on average.
Sounds good. Ron, we're almost out of time here. Is there any closing thoughts or anything you'd like to leave? I mean, kudos to you guys, both of you. Two brothers who get along, which is great. Starting a business together, working together, going without a paycheck for 9 years, having your spouses support you. But I understand, Ron, that it was you that kind of pushed your older brother into the online and digital marketing. He was a little hesitant, and it was that online marketing that just kind of changed the whole company.
Well, thank you for that. I think don't be afraid to try something like something new. You might find there's room enough in your imagination where you can create we didn't this isn't something that existed before. We pretty much had to invent this business model, and it ended up taking us to where we always wanted to be. There's big barrier in front of us, and we just floated over it pretty much somehow. And so don't be afraid to think about other possibilities, even though someone might not have done it before. You might be able to figure it out.
And Jay, I want to leave with one thing as well for everyone. We grew 3,000%. When they're we just scaled. It was crazy, right? Going from
3,000% growth over what period? Over what period of time was that?
2021. In 2021,
wow!
Right, we grew 3,000%, and it was a miracle, right? And then now that we're launching worldwide, we have the factories ready and ready for this explosive growth. We're looking at growing even more than that, God willing, right? But our secret, right? It's not nothing that we've done or anything. It's just our faith in. You got to think, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Who, I mean, that's our secret. I mean,
that's your secret sauce, huh?
That's the secret for everyone out there. That's the secret sauce, because it's impossible. I mean, I gotta say, it looked impossible to grow, to scale, to do anything, and it was just a miracle, right? We're just so thankful to God and for this miracle. And now that we're going to go worldwide, we're excited to be able to reach consumers all across the world that want our product. And really, it's something that no one's ever done before. Sell tortillas in the U.S. was difficult, but now sell tortillas direct to consumer across the world. So we're excited for this and really looking forward to a strong launch next week.
Well, as you should be, because if you look at it in the global market, 5% of all consumers live in the U.S. 95% of the world's consumers live, obviously, someplace else. So if you can get a little corner of that global market, I mean, 95% of the people out there, they can possible consumers of your tortillas. So you guys are WWT, Worldwide Tortillas now. That's great. So remember that, folks, MrTortilla.com. Order your tortillas. If you are listening from other country besides the U.S., reach out to me on our website, LatinoBusinessReport.com. Send me a note. We'll talk, and I will make sure that you get a complimentary pack of Mr. Tortillas delivered to you wherever you are in the world. And if you don't like it, send it to me, because I like them. Well, since they're free, you're not getting your money back. But for those of you who want to go ahead and chance it, you heard it right here on this podcast that Anthony said, if you don't like the tortilla, he'll gladly refund your money, but he doesn't think he's going to have to do that. So, guys, Anthony, any closing thoughts before we get out of here, sir?
No, I just want to thank my team, everyone that supported our brand, all our customers, and everyone on your podcast that, and you, JR, for having it. You're so easy to talk to. It's so great. I wanted to share a story about our FedEx rep, though. That guy, his name is Marcus. He's been coming here for 5 years, I believe, right? Trying to get business. We just never had anything that worked, because but he kept coming back. He was so great. And I'm so thankful, because finally now, 5 years later, we're able to really go worldwide with him. So big shout out to him for continuing to come and his help to get this thing going, because with his help, now we're able to reach everyone in the world in 3 to 5 days. Thank God.
Amazing. Okay, and on your, I need to ask, on your website, do you also have merch? I mean, Mr. Tortilla merch that people can purchase?
Yeah, we have aprons and we have winter beanies for now.
Aprons and winter beanies. Okay, all right. Look forward to seeing that. Guys, thank you so very much once again. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been your host, J.R. Gonzalez. You've been listening to the Latino Business Report. You can find our complete library of episodes at LatinoBusinessReport.com. And I encourage you, go back and find the original Mr. Tortilla episode. I think you'll be glad you did. There's a lot of good information on there. Anthony, Ron, thank you, gentlemen. Keep making those tortillas. I'll reach out to you a little bit later. And I'm anxious to try some of those crispy shell tortillas that you're making now, so you can just kind of stuff them with everything, and they're crispy, but they don't just crumble. So looking forward to that.
Exactly, Joe. We'll send you a box. You have to give us your opinion on them.
Happy to. After I finish this podcast with you, I think I'm going to go into the kitchen and warm me up a tortilla and make me some dinner, make me a little snack. But guys, thank you very much for joining us. You've been listening to Latino Business Report, and we will see you next week.